How y'all doing, everybody? This is Ray of RebelEars.com
YL from rebelears.com.
with another episode of the Rebel Ears podcast for 2024. Today's discussion, we're going to talk about creating content and being consistent with it.
So straight off the bat, man, I think we all can see that how important creating content is in this world, in this society. But today we just wanted to kind of bring it to the forefront for the creatives. I know a lot of creatives are, in fact, introverts, and, they're kind of like in their own bubble. A lot of the times we don't really like sharing ourselves with the world. But the fact of the matter is, it's really important to get into that these days if we don't want to get left behind. So that's what this episode is going to dive into.
Yeah, I'm the same way, actually. I'm an introvert. I really, to an extent, I don't like social media. Sometimes people put their personal business out there. It affects a lot of individuals. And then, some people just don't like posting. But, of course, in today's society, that's the way to drive your business with engagement, marketing, advertising, research on Facebook ads, Google ads, learning more about SEOs.
Yep. Like, social media has taken over, right? It's taken over YouTube, it's taken over SoundCloud, it's taken over, all of the different media outlets that we were used to growing up. It's just a different time now. Like, I remember what was it Beat Lab, different Sound Click where you can go and find your beats nowadays, YouTube.
Yeah.
But now it's like you can have all of those YouTube beats, you can have all of that, but if you don't have the following on YouTube, nobody's listening to your beats.
That's true.
You gotta post them on social media, snippets, and you gotta be able to create content, show people that you can create beats live, or however you can do it. Same thing with engineering, being an artist. It's just like the different avenues that we used back then to go and check somebody out. It's like now we don't have to do that. We could just go to their social media.
Yeah. And then everything is so easy nowadays. You got, like you were saying, YouTube, now, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, what did I say, LinkedIn?
Yeah.
What is it, Pinterest? Do you use
Reddit.
Tumblr?
No, I don't, but I know people that do for like business purposes.
Yeah. And then I did research, like with Pinterest, a lot of people drive a lot of engagement just from quick infographics. You can do research on those. A lot of people use them on social media just to give somebody a snippet of like a motivational quote or 4 or 5 tips on a specific niche or topic that you're interested in, and that's how you start gaining engagement on people who's interested.
And like I had to realize, because I told myself that I would never be a content creator. I literally told myself this a few years ago when content creating was like the thing, the anything for clout type of, when it started really kicking off, and the skits and the people lying, just to get views, different things like that. I'm like, yeah, I'll never get into that. And then, I realized that the whole point of having a business, a career, you working for yourself, are people.
Yeah.
Whether you got a store, whether you're selling T-shirts, whether you're cutting grass, you have to have clients or customers in order to make money, in order to be able to have a successful business. It is ran off of your clientele. And when I thought about that, I just know it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
The more people that sees that actually see what I do, the more people that'll reach out. The more people that'll reach out, the more people that I can actually link up with, and we can do business. They won't see me if I'm not posting content. Like, I'm a picture type of guy. I'll just post a picture of me in the studio and say, hey, book me. I'm still working. That was just me. Like, cool studio picture. Hey, book me. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know I'm working. So if you want to work with me, then you'll hit me. But then I had to realize, like, nah, they want to see the videos. They want to hear my voice. They want to...
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. They want to see it. They want to hear it. And then before I knew it, I was shooting little videos of me in the studio, and it actually started benefiting when more people would hit me up. I would get more engagement. The business is growing. So, yeah.
So was that through stories, like IG stories or reels?
Yep, IG stories, reels. Like, even on my page, I really wasn't doing a lot of videos still, but like I had started doing a lot of shorts. Like, I would record over and over and over myself in the studio with different artists, and then I would tag them in my stories, and I would get a lot of engagement through my
And
stories.
then the
And
artist would repost that too.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I still got to get better with doing it on my page. I'm getting better with being a content creator.
Yeah.
Thanks to you as well. Y'all don't know, but Ray, he done been showing me the ropes on the content creating. So
Sure.
yeah.
I'm still learning. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
It was a long journey, especially I can look back. 2022 wasn't as engaging as 2023 because we actually mapped out. Well, the podcast came out in 2019 or 2020. I think
Mhm.
2019, but back then we was doing like an episode probably every week or every other week. And then, of course, with the pandemic, it was kind of hard for us to meet each other and record. But of course, everybody was coming out with more content, being stuck at home.
Right.
2023 was our best year when it comes to engagement because around that time we was at over 100 subscribers on YouTube. TikTok had over 14,000 followers. With all of our collected Instagram accounts, we was at least I think 4,000 followers. But we deleted one of our old accounts because when we have you have so many social media accounts and then you're trying to balance out, okay, how are we going to engage with this platform? Or a lot of people sending comments or replies and then you don't answer it. It actually affects your engagement. That's why there was an engineer or an artist who was one of our subscribers recently. It was the video about the unison on the Universal Audio.
Oh yeah. On the
Yeah,
Apollo.
yeah, and that person was just talking about how you was like how you simplified it. He was watching a lot of different videos on YouTube, and I remember we did some research when it came to keywords,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the keywords that people look up was like universal audio plugins.
Yep.
So when it comes to content creating, you gotta do that research on what's something that people are actually researching. You can use what is it, Google keywords. That's yeah, or Google. It's either Google Analytics or no Google keywords.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically type in different keywords that's in your niche. So YL and I were audio engineers. The main ones, like microphones, headphones, speakers, plugins, Pro Tools, Logic,
Yep.
and one thing that we have invested a lot of money into. Shout out to Universal Audio. We got a lot of plugins, and man, I ain't gonna lie. One of my top, the Neve 1073 and the Tube Tech CL1B.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we got videos on YouTube of those
Yeah.
plugins as well. But like to get back to the videos on YouTube, I want to point out for engineers, we're probably like the last people to jump onto the content creating train,
Yeah.
right? Even if you just go through and you find a lot of engineers, you see a lot of the younger engineers really getting on the internet and really doing their thing with as far as content creating and getting their following up. But a lot of engineers, we just working, man. We're not really into the glam and the glitz because we don't really get the credit that we should get anyway, and we're used to that, right? We're behind the scenes guys. But the thing about being an engineer as well is everyone is an engineer nowadays, right? We'll put a quotations on the word engineer. Everyone is an engineer. People want to know that you're a real engineer. People want to know that you know what you're doing. Like, okay, if I'm going to spend my money here with you, then I want to know what you're doing. I don't have a link that you can click on and go listen to my discography because I've done so over the years. I probably got over 300-400 songs published because I work with independent artists.
Yeah.
Might do 6 mixtapes in 1 year, let alone singles. And so at the end of the day, I don't have just a website where you can say, here, this is all of the quality music that I put out or that I've worked on, right? So the best thing that I can do is show people that I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. So being able to go on YouTube and do tutorials and show other engineers and producers, even artists, that the way I'm breaking this down, you can tell that this is what I do. Like, this is not a hobby for me. I'm not practicing engineering. Like, this is something that I do on a regular basis. And it builds credibility, but it also proves to the people watching that it's worth to spend their money with you.
Oh, of course.
So you're growing your audience by showing people that your knowledge. So, and shout out to Ray because that was his idea.
A lot of shout outs, man. Hey, I gotta
For
shout you out
real.
too. Like this gonna be some behind the scene information that a lot of people don't know. So, of course, when it comes to a business, if you have someone that you partner up with, this could be outside content creative because this can go along with it. You have someone who's good at like marketing, someone who's good at promoting. Okay, good example, Cymatics.
Hmm?
So there's these two guys, Steve and Drew. Now, from what it looked like, Drew does most of the production, the plugins, and Steve is the guy who markets it. But the way they have it set up, it's a partnership. They started from the ground up. It's been over, I think it's 10 years they had that company.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like shout out to you because I'm not even gonna lie because situations with my Pro Tools and my iLock and then trying to get that set up, I haven't been doing sessions in close to a year. But I still like pop up to different sessions, talk to different artists. A lot of different artists still call me to go to the sessions, but I've been doing like a lot of in-house work. But with YL, still consistent with meeting with
Yeah.
artists, popping up on them, still creating content in the studio. So I gotta shout you out with that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But like again, like that's just the importance of the content. Like once the content is out there, that's your discography,
Yeah, it's out there.
right? You're a producer. How many unfinished beats do you have?
Too many.
How many beats that you finish that you have?
Too many.
Exactly. So nobody's gonna be able to click on your beat lab and listen to everything that they want to hear. So you getting on live and creating a quick beat, showing people like this, and that beat might not even be for sale, but you might just be showing people that I'm a professional. This is what I do. I'm not practicing, right? This is what I do. This is how good I am. I can really play from scratch. I really play instruments. I'm a real producer. I can really arrange music. You have to show people that you know how to do that because everybody's wearing your title. If you're in the media industry, everyone's a videographer, everyone's a content creator, everyone's an influencer, everyone's an engineer, everyone's an artist, everyone's a producer. You know, everyone is wearing the same titles in this industry, and you have to wear a lot of different titles,
You
right?
got to.
So at the end of the day, you posting and you showing people what you do, that is your discography. So the fact that even if it's only one of us that can hold up on this side over here and then the other one hold up on this side, it's still important that we show it no matter what. Like even if it's only one person showing it. Like you've been doing the podcast episodes pretty much solo because it's been hard for me to get here. So we just keeping it real. You know, we live real lives. We
Yeah.
family men, right? So
We got kids.
you've been holding down the podcast episodes, right? And a lot of the shorts and a lot of different things that pertain to content as well. We got to show it. If you can't do it together, then you split it up and you guys find out a way to show it because that's your discography. That's your proof of this is what I do, and then people take you seriously, and you don't have people come to you trying to negotiate your price because they don't think that this is what you really do.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how talented I am. I'm going to show you how much I know. I'm going to show you how good I am. I'm going to show you how much I'm working. And when I'm in the studio, I'm gonna take the pictures. I'm gonna shoot a video and put it on mute just to show you that I'm in here working.
Yeah, you gotta put it on mute, especially in a session because you don't know what kind of artist you might be working with. An artist might be like, I don't want this to be out as private. They might have a contract with a label. It depends. You want to make sure that they're comfortable. Some artists be like, yeah, man, all the content you could get, man. Yeah, you could record the audio. And some be like, nah, I don't want no content. I don't even want people to know I'm in the studio.
And even more so, I've dealt with a lot of artists that don't want the video. I always ask, by the way. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
When you are creating content, especially dealing with artists in those situations, I always tell artists, this really ain't for you. I don't care how big of an artist you are. I don't really care about your audience. You know, it would be nice to get some of your audience and to get maybe some of your constituents, but I really don't care about that. I'm really recording myself to show people that I'm working. Like I have so many videos in the studio of just me at the console or at the computer or just showing people that I'm in the studio, I'm working, and they have no clue what artist is in the studio. Because ideally, it's not about the artist. It's about me and me growing my business and showing people that I'm consistently doing this. Whether it's an independent artist or if it's an artist that people actually know. And they be like, nah, I don't even want to be on camera at all. Like, fine, that's cool with me because Long as you know I'm just shooting myself, bro. I ain't shooting you. I'm just shooting myself. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of them are just cool with that. And you, hey, it'll be on mute, or you just catch it. Get to the studio early. That's what I do. Get to the studio early. Record yourself a reel in there, right? Because now you got the background, especially if you don't own a studio. You got the environment. Oh, yeah. Shoot yourself a reel. Take some pictures. That way, when the artists get in there, you just get to work. It ain't about showing the artist. It's about showing you are actually working, you know.
And another thing when it comes to content creating, I actually got to get better with this. I'm not even going to lie. Scheduling posts. Mm-hmm. There's so many different apps like Buffer, Hootsuite, Planoly. Now, the one that we did research on that we're actually taking more time to use is Hookle, Hookle. Now, it's like a 14-day free trial for it. And then after that, it's like $59.99 for the whole year. But you can use up to 20 accounts. So this can actually help you to speed up your content creating. There's ways you can type a keyword and it'll actually help you to create a post. You can use it for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and then you can even, if you have a Facebook group, you can link that too. And a LinkedIn group on there. We have at least 8 to 9 accounts on Hookle right now that we can schedule one post at the same time, and it's easy. There might be a link in either the podcast or the YouTube video, or it might be a link in the bio. We'll see, because we wanted to help engagement on those who's trying to start off. I had a talk with an individual who likes the podcast. Shout out Tony Garrison. He's a fan of the podcast and the YouTube.
Shout out Tony.
Yeah, so he was talking about a few things. He was talking about like when we create our content, what video app we use. Mm-hmm. Like us personally, we use InShot, InShot. Yep. There's a lot of benefits from doing thumbnails, importing the videos you're doing from either your camera or your phone. Yep. It can help you to make reels, YouTube videos. Yep. TikTok videos, Instagram.
And it takes full-length videos. Like I edit 40-minute tutorial videos
on your phone.
On my phone.
On the phone.
I think, and that's a good point. As we're talking about apps to make your content sharing efficient and being able to share on different platforms simultaneously and schedule. Another thing that kind of discourages people from doing content is the editing part.
Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I hate it.
It come with the game. I'm not really that good at it. I'm good enough to make some decent cuts and maybe put a little music or something. Man, look, learn how to do it. Download InShot or whatever editing apps that you want to learn how to do it. Either that or pay somebody on Fiverr.
There's also CapCut too. CapCut.
Mm-hmm. I heard of CapCut.
Yeah, I used that in the beginning before KLab. That's another. That's a website based app when it comes to creating shorts and captions. CapCut was just basically the captions on all our videos. Now InShot has it set up that it do the
captions and stuff. Yeah.
Because they understand, and when it comes to content creating, this is like the high end demand. Like all videos, let's say you're at work and you're in a loud environment. You could watch the video, but you can't hear it. You can read the caption. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the benefits.
The resources out there, like you just said, the companies realize how important reels and shorts and all this different content creating is. Like when you can get on platforms like LinkedIn and you see them kind of transferring into the traditional content creating platforms.
Yeah.
Like you understand that everyone is moving to this wave. Whether you like it or not, you're going to get left behind if you're in the media industry, because everyone is showing what they can do. If you're not showing what you can do, like how many engineers can we think of that we've met personally that might have plaques from the 90s and the 2000s?
A lot.
And you will utter their name and no one knows who they are. And this is not a shot at them, because we still aspire to get to where they have been. Like It's not a shot, but it's a reality of if you don't keep up with the times, you're going to get left behind. I work with live sound engineers. They used to be studio engineers. They're not in the studio anymore because it's no longer lucrative for them. They don't know enough to be able to keep up with the new age recording and mixing methods. So they don't work in the studio. They go and do live sound. They're cutting out their own dream and cutting out their own income because they couldn't keep up. We got to be able to keep up as creatives, y'all. We don't want to get left behind, right?
You remember when Brian Michael Cox spoke at our graduation?
Yeah.
Remember, he was talking about like all the Grammys he has, and shout out to Brian Michael Cox too.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about. I learned a lot about the industry, but one thing I've learned is not to be comfortable with your success,
Yep.
because he was always focused on, okay, I won this Grammy, like I'm focused on my next one, because the thing is, you can, like you was talking about, you can have a Grammy from the 1990s that shows your credibility in the industry, but what's current to like today's industry, like are you
Exactly.
meeting the high demands of the artists of today's society in the pop culture
Mm-hmm.
or the hip hop industry? Are you something that's credible
Right.
for right now? And it makes you think on when you're gonna get to a point. I remember that one book years ago. I talked about relentless. The last three words was done. What's next? And that just basically means never get comfortable on what you're doing.
Yeah, and that just goes in today's time, right? Like, why do you think we're watching 15-second videos?
Why?
Why do you think it's so many artists blowing up? Because there's so many artists also falling off. The attention span of today's time is like this. Like, we see it when we don't post super, super, super consistently. The engagement slightly moves down, even though you might have the same amount of followers, the same amount of people that's a part of your platform. Less amount of people are seeing it. Why? Because you haven't been consistent. Out of sight, out of mind. So if you're not showing people every single day, at least 4 or 5 times a week or whatever, get your schedule however you can do it. If you're not showing the people that this is what you're doing and you're on the same wave that everybody else is on, they're gonna forget about you.
And I know it sucks. It does suck.
Yeah, it do. It do, man. It do.
But we understand, because of course back in the day, how do you get fans? You had to literally, if you were an artist, you literally had to like go to different venues, perform. There's no way that people can just see you perform with videos. They actually had to go from city to city, state to state, just so people could see them. We're telling everybody basically to start content creating. Of course, record yourself in the environment that you're comfortable with, doing some editing on your phone, and post it on social media. And we also told you what app. So for a whole year, for only $60 with 14 days free, Hookle, Hookle. There's no reason, if you can spend either, if you're free on the weekend or a day that you're free, like with us, Saturday and Sunday. Well, basically for me, I try to take 2 hours a day focusing just on content. That could be basically, okay, let me brainstorm for our next podcast or video. What's going to be the 5, 6 videos coming out this week? Let me go ahead and schedule it on Hookle. Before it's scheduled on Hookle, we'll upload like the 20, 30-minute video in that web-based app I was talking about, KLAP, KLAP. We upload a 20, 30-minute video, and it'll break down 10 different shorts for either YouTube Shorts or Instagram or TikTok. And you can actually have the caption in there so it does the work for you. We're going to get more in depth when it comes to like more animation in our video. That's going to take some time, but that's stuff we're doing research. Just like with all these different apps for videos, for content, for caption, for editing, we're breaking down the different steps to do it.
Yep, and it's a learning process. But if you don't get on the train while it's still rolling, you're gonna get left behind. And I think that's probably like the biggest message of it all. You gotta do it.
Got to.
This is a PSA to all creators. If you are not creating content and you are not already established, we don't want to be negative about it, but everyone with eyes can see where we're headed as a society. And I mean, when I say creating content, man, I see like real companies, the most boring companies, like tax preparing companies, and like, and not boring as in, but you wouldn't expect these types of companies that we're seeing create hilarious content just to be able to push their brands and like,
engagement.
yeah, they're literally getting video crews and they're shooting their own social media commercials just to grow their brands.
$1,000 a video.
Yes.
There's people paying. I heard there's somebody paying. I'm trying to remember if it was $1,500 or $15,000 for a thumbnail.
I can believe it.
Yeah, people are paying money out here.
I can believe it. And thumbnails are so important. We always tell y'all to do y'all research. So when you want to get into hashtagging, you want to get into thumbnails, do your research, your keywords. We gave y'all a bunch of apps you can start off with, but there's plenty of apps out there. Get you a budget, something that you can afford to just buy a couple different apps you want to get. You don't want to just keep using the free version of the app because you'll be limited. But if that's all you can afford, it'll be enough. Like InShot has a free version to where you can at least just get the content and put it out. Do not sit on the content. Put it out.
He paid for the InShot Pro. I didn't, not yet.
Yeah, and I mean, I enjoy it, but to be honest,
give me access, bro.
If I didn't have it, I would still be putting out the same exact content. I would be making the same cuts. I would be making the same edits. I'd be showing the same. Some of the effects and stuff are a bit different, but yeah, no, I got you. I think InShot as well. I think
I'm gonna pay for it. It's a good app.
I think InShot is
what?
Mobile only. I haven't seen.
No. It's you can use it on the computer.
Can you use it on the computer?
Okay. That Canva. That's another app.
Canva's a good app. And y'all probably know about a lot of these apps. So you just got to dive into it. Stop being afraid, because this is the thing about it. Either you're going to do it yourself or you're going to pay somebody else to do it.
Yeah. If you're going to pay somebody else to do it, I recommend Fiverr.
Yeah.
We did have some good experiences on Fiverr, some bad experiences. There was that one guy when we started doing blogs on rebelears.com.
Yeah.
He kept coming up with excuses. So, man, if ChatGPT was that when we first did our blogs, we would have like 1,000 blogs.
Yeah. Use AI. I mean, it's right. It's there for you. If you believe in AI and you're cool and good with using AI, use AI to create content.
Better use it,
man.
because there's no stopping now. A lot of people are talking about, well, I'm not comfortable with it. Okay, don't be comfortable. Don't be comfortable.
If I was an artist or a producer, I would have all the AI videos I'm talking about, I would just spend $100 a month subscribing to different apps that give me all kind of AI, and 3-4 times a day, I would just be plastering my song behind it. If that's all I can afford, that's what I would be doing.
I think it'll get in.
That's content. A post, writing on Twitter, that is content. It's connected to your brand. Yep. Words, that is content. A picture, it's all content that's connected to your brand.
I'm thinking of getting ChatGPT Plus. It's only $20 a month, but I've been hearing so as y'all can hear, that's something that I'm doing research on now, because there's something evolving within Rebel Ears that we want to take advantage of, especially like I was saying, scheduling, content creating. We're using all these AI infused apps or websites to help us when it comes to creating content, because when we first started Rebel Ears, we was not coming out with videos like this. The podcast was just audio. Yep. It was no videos. We did not have videos on YouTube how we have it now. If you look on the YouTube, you'll see I think all the way to episode 30, we just had the audio with one thumbnail. Now you can watch the whole episode of the podcast. This will be out soon, but it's just showing the growth and development of the company. And we got a lot more coming.
Yeah, that's PSA. Create content or pay someone to do it for you. Get your brand out there as much as you can. It's a numbers game. So the more people that see, the more people will engage. The more people that engage, the more people will patronize your business, and you will become successful at what you are doing.
I was bothering you?
Yeah, a little bit.
But this was Ray and YL from Rebel Ears. Just want to tell everybody, thank you for listening and watching. Before you get off, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, because the next video that pops up or the next podcast, you'll be the first to know. And if you want to leave a comment, go ahead, because you never know. Your next comment might be our next episode. And like the video, let people know about the podcast.
Google us, Rebel Ears, all. It don't matter where. Follow us, tap in. Our website will pop up, of course. Just Google Rebel Ears and tap in with us on everything we got going. Refuse to sound ordinary.
Yep. From everybody at Rebel Ears, just want to tell everybody, thank you for listening and watching. Keep tuning in.
Dun 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 dun, the Rebel Ears Show. Thank you for tuning in. No, just fucking around.